Crown Court for us, Lizo. Thank you very much. And there's much more on this story on the BBC News website and the BBC News app, of course. Let's turn to the Middle East now. And Israel says it's evaluating what it's called new comments submitted by Hamas to negotiators from Egypt and Qatar, who are attempting to end 9 months of conflict in Gaza. The proposals relate to efforts to secure the release of Israeli hostages still being held in Gaza and to achieve a ceasefire. Elsewhere in the region, the Israeli military says it's killed a commander of Hezbollah in Lebanon in an airstrike. Mohammed Nima Nasser is one of the most senior Hezbollah figures to have been killed in nearly 9 months of cross-border clashes. These pictures were sent to us by the AFP news agency, which says they were posted online showing the aftermath of that attack. Let's speak now to Rami Khouri, who is a distinguished fellow at the American University of Beirut and joins us on the line from Boston. Rami, thank you very much for being with us. Good to talk to you. The arc of conflict between Hezbollah and Israel is a long one. How do these latest developments add to this story?
It is a long arc. In fact, it goes back to the 1980s, 1990s. Before Hezbollah was in South Lebanon, the PLO was there, and Israel was trying to deal with that and occupied South Lebanon, laid siege to Beirut. So this conflict between Lebanon, whether it's Lebanese fighters or Palestinians or others, and the Israeli army is really one of the oldest in the Arab-Israeli conflict. The striking thing is that the repeated assassinations that Israel has carried out of Hamas leaders, PLO leaders before that, Hezbollah leaders now, they killed. Before Mohammed Nasser, they had killed a fellow called Talib Abdullah in June, another senior commander of Hezbollah. And it just doesn't seem to have any impact. You know, the Israelis feel that when they kill the commanders, it demoralizes everybody, but it does exactly the opposite. It ignites more motivation, especially by young people and others. This is really a symbol of the futility of the current tit-for-tat exchanges. I mean, they can keep doing this for months or years. They have been doing it for years, and it hasn't resolved anything. So, but neither side is going to unilaterally submit to the other, and therefore we should expect to see this continue. The different thing is that Israel has said for the last month that it's going to go into Lebanon and finally get rid of Hezbollah. And it said the same thing about Hamas and hasn't been able to do it. And so we have to really look at what they're doing, which is a very limited form of mutual assassinations and attacks, and see their actions speaking more than their words.
Israel, of course, says it is defending itself, and it accuses Hezbollah of firing rockets at civilian populations. Hezbollah claims it is a resistance organization, even though it's listed as a banned terror group by many Western governments. Lebanon says it doesn't want an escalation over its border. Could the Lebanese government, do you think, be doing more to disarm the militant wing of Hezbollah?
No, it can't. It's been unable to defend southern Lebanon, and that's why Hezbollah came into being, to provide some protection for the Palestinians and the Lebanese and anybody else in the south of Lebanon, but mainly for the Lebanese. The situation in Palestine is the same. The Palestinians couldn't hold their own against the Israelis, constant attacks by Israel and Hamas and Gaza and the West Bank, and therefore Hamas was born as sort of defensive, strong defensive movements. So the Lebanese government is not a serious actor in this, unfortunately, because they don't have the military muscle, and the country is economically in a terrible condition. But this is not new. This has been the situation for the last 25 years.
And are you concerned that this conflict will widen and that Israel will go over the border and the conflict will spread further?
Yeah, I think we all have to be concerned, but when one is concerned for 15 years in a row and a big war doesn't break out, then one wonders, is this level of concern reasonable? It can always be sparked. Big war can be sparked by accident or intentionally, but neither side wants it. This is what's fascinating. Hezbollah and the Israeli generals, they say we don't want a full-fledged war because it's going to destroy so much of Lebanon and Israel, and it's not going to solve anything. The fear is that if they do go to a higher level of military engagement, the Iranians would come in. If the Iranians come in, the Americans might come in, and who knows what's going to happen after that. So the Israelis haven't even been able to subdue Hamas after 9 months of brutal attacks. And so they speak a lot stronger than they act. They have the ability to destroy a lot in Gaza and Lebanon, but they haven't been able to use their military to bring about an equitable resolution of their conflicts, either with the Palestinians or the Lebanese or anybody else. So we have to be constantly worried about a bigger war, but I still don't think it's going to happen.
Okay, Rami Khouri, a distinguished fellow at the American University of Beirut. Thank you very much for your analysis. Appreciate it. Around the world and across the UK, this is BBC News.